Welcome everyone to another episode of the MMA Betting Show. I am your host, GK The Fight Analyst. Um, right now we are in a bit of a lockout, in a shutdown in all of our cities out here in the states, and pretty much majority of the world out there. I hope everyone is being safe and inside and kind of staying away from everybody. Unlike the people down here in South Florida, they think this is not a joke, and they are going amongst their day and running around and doing everything and anything outside. But with that said, fortunately, there's absolutely nothing to bet on. UFC London was canceled, and multiple UFC events coming up have been postponed. Even the Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson fight is most likely going to be moved elsewhere. Hopefully, that April 15th or 19th, I forgot, time frame is still intact, but unfortunately it's definitely not going to be at the Barclays Center. It's not going to be anywhere near New York. They are going to have to postpone it and move it elsewhere. But at least there are some fights coming up on Friday, tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over in the UK. We have Cage Warriors 113 on tap. This is actually a pretty decent card, even though they lost 3 or 4 bouts on here. But you still have the main event. You have Darren Stewart taking on Bartosz Fabinski, which is going to be a fantastic fight. Um, you know, those two guys are coming over from the UFC. They were able to break contract just for this one fight and get some money, get some bread. Unfortunately, everybody else is out of a paycheck. Then you got the co-main event between Mason Jones and Joe McLaughlin, which is going to be a pretty good fight there. Mason Jones is an 8-0 prospect at 155 pounds. I think he's definitely a force. I'm telling you, I love the Cage Warrior scene. They have a ton of great prospects that come out of there. If you haven't known, Michael Bisping came out of there. Um, Conor McGregor came out of there, and just a bunch of other up and coming UK prospects have come out of there. Nathaniel Wood currently, just a bunch. One person that I'm loving that should be in the UFC is Mads Burnell. He's absolutely running through everybody here in Cage Warriors. I think 1 or 2 more wins, he's finally back into the UFC. He had a tough run at it in his first stint against some really tough competition, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Cage Warriors 113 on tap. We have money to be made, and I'm definitely excited. There are some spots I'm kind of loving here. Um, after going over some things, lines moved accordingly as I thought they would. To there are some juice. I don't know where you guys lines are at right now, so I'm just gonna go down the fights that I'm keying in on and player and the fighters that I'm really liking, because everybody's lines are different. Five Dimes is much higher than some other lower level books out there. So the first fighter I'm looking to key in on is Steve Amable taking on Perry Goodwin. Perry Goodwin it looks to be a strong knockout artist. He's coming down to 145 for the first time for this fight. Last fight was at 155, so he probably is the bigger fighter of the two. He has about a couple inch reach and height advantage, but from what I've seen, he's just a dude that likes to brawl, which is most of these UK dudes out there. They like to just stand and brawl, and they're tough as nails. But I'm really liking Steve Amable here, especially at this great price of -170. He just fought arguably the best fighter in Cage Warriors, Mads Burnell. He didn't get finished, just like everybody else has got to finish against Mads. Mads won the fight convincingly, but I think Amable's tough. That dude stood in there. He actually took Mads Burnell down, which is nobody was able to do in Cage Warriors. I think Steve Amable, his path to victory is his grappling. Talking about a guy that, 2 fights ago against Reese McKee, who's primarily a tall and lanky striker at 155, caught him in a guillotine choke. So he got caught again, early in his career by guillotine choke. So he's susceptible to the submissions, and I think Amable should be able to push forward, get him against the cage, take him down, and really just wear him down, wear him out. And minus 170 is a pretty decent line there. Is Stewart 3 or 5 rounds? Let me actually check that out. I'm almost certain it's a 3 5 minute round because since it's not a title fight, the main events aren't like the UFC. They're not going to be 5 minutes, but the only fight that's going to be 5 minutes is Mason Jones versus Joe McLaughlin because it's a 155-pound title fight. So that's going to be good there. So yeah, I'm really liking Steve Aimable there. I know he's a little bit undersized, but he's definitely the more game opponent. He's fought much better competition. He was on a 4 fight win streak to get his title shot against Mads Bennell. I know he came up short, but that doesn't mean he's not good. I think he's really good. He's somebody that could possibly get a short notice UFC debut if he just keeps on winning and beating everybody else. I think he's definitely could be a UFC bound, but I think he could take out the Perry Goodwin, who's only 9-6, and nothing really to write home about. He's Steve Aramable is also the number 5 ranked featherweight in UK and Ireland, so that's according to Tapology. So that's something to write home about there. Moving forward, someone else who I really like that I've seen everybody else likes as well is Aiden Steven. He's right now he's minus 230. Not a great line, but he should pretty much just walk through Jack Collins here. He's much more experienced. He's the bigger fighter. He's actually looked good. With a 6-2 record. And I know he has faced the best of competition, but he went to a decision with Steve Avable, who just fought against Mads Burnell for the title. So he was one of the top prospects at 145 pounds coming into that fight against Steve Avable. And I don't think Jack Collins is better than Steve Avable, Kingsley Crawford, or Chris Richards in his last 3. I think this should be a fairly easy fight for him. And Jack Collins is only 3-0. I know he's got some good, submissions, but his offensive grappling is not great, and it's going to be hard for him to really get the fight there against Aiden Stevens. Probably going to be able to keep this fight on the feet and just absolutely outpoint him and outstrike him for an easy decision win. I know the line isn't where you really want it to be at minus 230, but unfortunately, that's one of my favorite plays. Another one is David Bear. He got beat. He got bet all the way up to minus 225. A lot of these lines are getting crazy bets on them because there's nothing else that we could possibly bet on right now. You have all the the casuals and the people that don't know anything about MMA just betting the favorites heavy because they're thinking, that's the way to go. I don't know if that's really the case, but unfortunately, in these 2 fights, David Bear and Aiden Steven, and those 2 particularly are the right sides, and I'm definitely going with them there. Next, you have a decent line here because I guess not many people really want too much of the action because they really don't know who's going to win. That's Jamie Richard taking on Matthew Bonner. We take a look at more into that. We have minus 115 on Jamie Richardson, who he's looked good in his time. He's 8-5. He's moving up in weight to fight at 185, but he's not going to be completely undersized because he is 6 foot. He's got good knockout power. I mean, all of his wins have come by knockout. So he's going to come there, stand and brawl, which is great because I don't think Matthew Bonner is someone that's going to go in there and take him down and trying to submit him. I know he's bigger, but he's somebody that's not looking to take the fight to the mat. He's looking to stand and bang, and that gives us more of a chance to really get this win with Jamie Richardson at minus 115. It's pretty good there. Very good odds, almost even odds. Talking about Matthew Bonner is 6-5, and he hasn't faced great competition. His second to last fight, he's faced somebody that's 26-79. So those are the type of people that he's facing and beating against. Jamie Richardson here, minus 115 is a very good spot. Next, that I'm really liking, I don't know about really liking, but we're getting good odds on him. I've just never been a big Darren Stewart fan. I mean, I like Stewart. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He's tough as nails. But the underlying thing is his takedown defense is not stout. It's not great. And Darren Stewart is minus 240 against a pretty decent grappler who's averaging over 5 takedowns per 15 minutes. Darren Stewart just got taken down 6 times in his last fight against Deron Wynn. So you know he's susceptible to takedowns. And this being a 3-rounder, Fabinski could take 2 of these rounds just by straight wrestling. And that's going to be key in this fight. You're getting Fabinski, who's a good wrestler. I know he's moving up a weight at 185, but he's a good wrestler at plus 200. And I believe if you take him by decision, which is mostly his clear path to victory, if he does win, I don't see him getting a TKO or submission against Stewart. He's really tough. But if you have him by decision, Fabinski is plus 350. Plus 350 by decision, a grueling wrestler. And I feel he's definitely going to take Stewart down multiple times. That's his clear path to victory. And I'm really liking that there. Plus 200 and him to win by decision plus 350. Those are very, very good odds, everybody. Very good odds. The parlay that probably is very safe parlay. You can definitely do Patty Pimblett, who probably will win the first round. Mason Jones and Aiden Steven. Those three, I think, are like the safest bets on this card. And you can get those three at plus 117 in a parlay. 1 unit wins you plus 117. I think that's a no-brainer there. Should be the easiest fights on this card between those three. Other than that, I don't see much of where I like too many other spots here, but these are the fights I'm really keen in on. I know there's a ton of juice, but that's what happens in these low level organizations that are just pretty much put out there on a whim like this. But yeah, I really like Steve Amable, David Bear, Steve Amable minus 170. You have David Bear at minus 225, Aiden Steven minus 230. I would parlay Patty Pimblett, Mason Jones, and Aiden Steven at plus money. Or you can, Mason Jones, Patty Pimblett with anybody else. You're pretty much getting even money, and I would take that all day because I think Patty and Mason are definitely both easy wins there. If you want to just parlay those two, those are minus 196. I know it's not great, but I feel like those are kind of key wins here. I think those guys will hit on any 3-team parlay. And then I also like Bartosz Fabinski plus 200, also to win by decision plus 350. You know how I like my decision bets. We cashed them like crazy last week. If you guys were with me last week, go. You guys killed it. I mean, we're talking killed it. We hit a plus 450 right off the bat. I mean, we went absolutely bonkers all night long. And tomorrow we get some early money at plus one. At 1:30 in the afternoon, and that's we're gonna cash out early tomorrow, and hopefully a lot. I know it's not the best scenario, but that's what I got for you guys. I don't know if anybody's in here and they got some questions. If you don't, hit me up on social media. I'm always around to help you out with some bets, make you some cash. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be our last event for a while, so get in while you can. I'm just doing a little short video to give out some bets for you guys. I have Steve Amable minus 170, David Bayer minus 225, Aiden Steven minus 230. Also, Patty Pimblett, Mason Jones parlay. You could parlay them too with literally anybody else, any other of the fighters that I already tell you. And that should be your key. All of them will be plus money in the end, and I believe that shit's gonna cash easy, especially Patty Pimblett and Mason Jones. Those two are guaranteed lives. They're much better than their opponents. Their opponents are taking this on short notice. Patty probably will get a submission early on. Not really sure about Mason Jones, but I feel like he should be able to dominate there and get to 9-0 and be one of the top prospects in Cage Warriors. So that's going to be great there. And then we finalize the card with Bartosz Babinski plus 200, also taking him by decision at plus 350. Not a lot. That's going to be a tough fight. Moving up in weight. I just see a clear path to victory for Fabinski. Stewart, he has to knock him out or really make him feel the power that he possesses. And if he doesn't really crack the chin of Fabinski, I feel like Fabinski is going to keep moving forward and taking him down against the fence. And we're getting plus 200, a very, very good wrestler. That's a guy that kind of is not great at takedown defense. So give me 2-1. Sorry, guys. Give me 2-1 odds there any day of the week against somebody that really can't defend takedowns very, very well. And plus 350 by decision. And that's most likely his way of winning. So, yeah, with that said, I'm going to run down one more time for you guys. That's Steve Amable, minus 170. David Bear, minus 225. Aiden Steven, minus 230. Parlay, Patty Clemblett, and Mason Jones with any of the other guys that I'm talking about. Also, Bartosz Fabinski, plus 200 by decision, plus 350. You guys know where to follow me at Fight Analyst, Twitter, at The Fight Analyst on Facebook, and you guys could just add me on Facebook, Garrett Kurtman, and send me a message if you guys got any questions on these fights that you're looking into. I'm here to help you guys make some money. So with that said, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great one. Remember to stay safe and stay inside during these times. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good Thursday night.